respect, courtesy, and civility required to successfully conduct the public's business. In this regard, the council should be addressed during public participation as a collective body and not individual members. In order to respect the speaker's time, council members will not engage in dialogue or debate with the speaker. However, council members should feel free to ask the speaker a question or questions once recognized by the council president for purposes of clarifications. Council members can offer comments on the speaker's remarks once the speaker has concluded his or her comments in their allotted 5 minutes time frame. One last thing I want to say is please respect the 5 minutes and allow other folks to get their time. Don't take away somebody behind you. Anyway, forget that. You know what I mean. I do want to make one announcement though. On the agenda, under ordinances for introduction, ordinance number 2025, an ordinance authorizing acceptance of covenant of block 104, lot 19 from Marvin Greenberg, executor for open space purposes, is being pulled for this evening.
Thanks.
Really?
Thank you. Can you repeat the number again? It's the last
The
number.
last one, the only one for
Or one for an introduction, Michelle, and welcome back, Michelle.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, who's up? Good morning.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Marty Graflinger, and I'm the proud elected president of the BMIA. Before we dive into our event announcements, I'd like to refer to the meeting agenda, specifically items 268-2025 and 269-2025. The BMIA believes this is a wonderful initiative using the township's affordable housing fund to help our residents improve their properties. Any kind of improvement is what we aim for at the BMIA, and service to our community is our #1 priority. We would like to collaborate with the township and host a meeting to further educate the public on the grant money available to them. We truly want to help residents realize that they can receive assistance for their homes, and would love to work together to get this important initiative started. As many of you know, we are wonderful hosts, and we would ensure a welcoming environment, complete with drinks, snacks, and a nice place to meet. So please call us. We're ready to help. Now, shifting gears to our exciting upcoming events. This Saturday marks an important milestone for the BMIA as we are turning 106 years old, making us the oldest organization in town, and we are very, very proud of it. So I invite you all to join us to celebrate at our open mic event this Friday at 7 p.m. We are thrilled to have Tony Mealy, who is newly married, and his band, our very own BMIA house band, Sundays afternoon. Whether you want to bring your instrument or come up and sing with the house band, we would love to see everyone there to enjoy their music and even participate. We even have a door prize basket that I just posted on Facebook, and it is for BMIA members only for a drawing in that, and it's really fabulous. For our Fun Friday nights, BMI members always eat for free, and if you find yourself wondering how you can join in on these festivities, membership is always available, just $15 per family per year, payable at any event, or by mailing a check to P.O. Box 284, New Lisbon, New Jersey, 08064. I also always carry membership cards, so feel free to reach out if you're interested. On September 27th at 8 a.m., we will participate in the Clean Communities event at the Fire Department in Country Lakes. This is a wonderful opportunity for us to come together and enhance the beauty of our community. Please remember to sign in on the BMI clipboard upon arrival so we can keep track of our volunteers. Following that, we'll host a Red Cross blood drive on Sunday, September 28th, starting at 9 a.m. There are still a few slots available, so if you'd like to sign up, please visit redcross.org and enter our zip code 08015. We are pleased to offer free breakfast for those who come to donate, making a great way to start your day. For assistance, feel free to text me at 609-388-1305. Later that same day, our annual membership meeting will take place at 3 p.m. And I want to emphasize how it is very important for everyone to attend. We need all members there. This meeting is significant as we will be voting for our new board of directors, and your participation is crucial. Every vote counts. As we shape the future of our organization, it's vital that we see everyone present. Looking ahead to October, we have an important event coming up. On October 24th at 2 p.m., we will host a Board of Education Candidate Forum. This is an essential opportunity for community members to learn about the candidates and their plans for improving our school system. We will be accepting questions via email at bmia.org@gmail.com in advance to ensure a fair dialogue. Lastly, I want to share that in December, we will be collaborating with the Coupon Clipper Club again for their annual tour drive. The BMIA will be again collecting warm fuzzy blankets for teenagers. If you could bring more new warm fuzzy blankets to our fun Friday nights or membership meetings, or text me at 609-388-1305 for a pickup, that would be really, we would really appreciate it. Teenagers can often be very hard to buy for, but what teenager doesn't love a warm fuzzy blanket when they're hanging out watching Netflix or playing games? So let's help out the Coupon Clipper Club with this project. So thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to seeing everyone at our upcoming events. Have a wonderful evening.
Tomorrow, if you want to reach out to the Community Development Department and talk to your Rosemary or Tricia,
Yeah,
what we do about the affordable housing.
Yes,
Alright, resolutions, yeah, how we go. Resolution 261, I say yes to. Resolution 262, 2025, I would ask that we table it and investigate the person more. I hear there's some connections in the office there. You know, I know we have a nepotism policy, so I think it would be best just to table it, just so we can investigate it, just to make sure that we're not violating our own policy. Alright. 263, 2025, I say yes to. 264, 2025. I would say yes, but I think that we need to ask ourselves. $206,000. Now that's a lot. It's not really a lot of money when you're thinking about the amount of pavement that you're going to be purchasing for Earl. But I see for the purchases over $3,000, we're going to be contracting hauling services from Earl as well. Wouldn't it just been smart to add the hauling purchase in the price with the asphalt as well? You know, I think it should all be kept together instead of all over the place. 265, 2025, I just want to know how much the contract is with URI. 266, 267, 268, and 269, I say yes to, and thank you guys for that. Especially 269. 270 and 271, yes. 273, 2025, yes. 274, I want to echo what Dan said at the last meeting. Why not just make it a full-time position for a QPA instead of having a contract out? It kind of makes sense. I mean, I was reading some of the comments on Facebook. For the size township we have, it kind of makes sense to have a full-time QPA. Ordinance 26, I say yes to. I think it's good that we invest in our infrastructure in the community. Yes, it's upsetting that some projects take 4 years to get done and then they don't follow through with paving people's streets. It's very upsetting. But we have to continue to move forward and hope, not even hope, but we have to make sure that things that happen to people's streets never happen again. And Mr. Ward, I know your street took like, what was it, 4 years?
This is a water bill.
Oh, no.
Water bill has nothing to do with the street.
I know, but wasn't it, you know, it took them 4 years to get your street all together with this?
I'm not too sure.
No, I thought, wasn't that why you voted no?
No.
No? Oh, I think I might have got that one. Alright. Ordinance 28, which is your ordinance for introduction, since you pulled it, I won't say anything about it. You know how I feel about the new purchases over 3,000. My questions for the bill list are, what's the most expensive item on the bill list? How much is the bill list in total? And when will we see the bill list on the township website for the public, you know, us to be able to see what we're spending money on? Have you guys signed the recall petition? I also wanted to ask you about the legal stuff that we were dealing with the presidential aid fire and rescue. Would you be able to talk about that a little bit more? I can run back and get the paper for you. There was a legal notice that was put on the township website.
I'm not familiar with
Right. Okay. All right. I'll go get the paper and hand it to you. Do we know what the status of a recreation coordinator is? I know we hired Mr. Brunson. Do we know if we've hired a coordinator? Do we know what the status of a business administrator hiring is? Do we have any candidates that we're looking at? And for you, everybody, don't worry, it's nothing new. People all over the place are saying that you're planning to run for 2026. Are you running for 2026? And that's it.
So Alex, total contract award is $474,000, but it's through a grant of $657,000. Okay. Total bill list is just over $3 million, but $1.9 million of that goes to the Board of Ed.
1.9.
Can you say that again?
The total bill list is just over $3 million, with $1.9 million going to the Board of Education.
Why?
Alex, on 264, asphalt, I mean, that has to be bid separately. That trucking thing you see is for trucking that's been done this year for our paving projects. So we can't keep them together, or we have to keep, we have to get a bid out every year for asphalt, and road paving and stuff like that. So they have to be kept separate.
Now we can't do it in-house since you got that new
Even when we have all of our trucks running, we still need to supplement with, other trucks to help, so the paving process goes smooth. Had a few years in the industry, so you can't just do it with three in-house team. Sometimes you need 5, sometimes you need 6. Use them as they need. What else did you have a question on?
What's the status of a business administrator? And what's the status of a recreation coordinator?
Okay, you want that?
We're still looking for a BA. The rec coordinator we're looking for, we did hire a rec director. Since we do have a brand new rec director that we starting here pretty soon, we want to have him part of the process and have his buy-in on this. So we're gonna present him with the resumes and interview information that we have and let him be part of the decision-making since it will be his team. And I think I also have, correct me if I'm wrong, EL fire department thing.
That's the litigation.
That is, I believe, Amy, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that is, there was some questions in regards to the deed, that arose when we were dealing with the cell phone company, the cell phone, antennas on that tower. There was no deed, so they wouldn't create a lease with us because it wasn't clear ownership. So we're going to court to get a deed for that property. So that's what the litigation is, I believe.
At the time that there was a settlement with the presidential fire and rescue department, the settlement turned the property over to the township. A deed was done, and it was sent over to the attorney for the fire and rescue company. It never got returned to the township. That attorney passed away at the time, and the members, there's no other members of the fire company. We reached out to people. Tried to reach out to people to see if they would come in and sign the deed. So the only way to get it done would be through the court process. We do have a settlement agreement that states the township has the property. However, the
we have a time frame? How long it would take?
I believe it's something should be settled by the end of the month.
There was a hearing on the 28th. I wasn't that hearing.
Can't hear you.
Microphone.
There was a hearing on August 28th. Whether or not that happened, I'm not sure. I wasn't at that meeting, but it should be settled by the end of the month. Judge.
Alright. And you wanna quell the rumors, are you running, not running? Nothing to say? Alright, have a good day, you guys.
Thanks, Alex.
Good job, Alex, good job.
Good evening. My name is Nancy Rooney, and for the past couple of years, I've been, well, in the township, I've been trying to get Railway and Quail Run, the road trimmed of the brush on the side of the roads. It's kind of dangerous right now. Back in the day, the township used to always maintain the road, and it would be trimmed. But it hasn't been done in quite a few years, and I've been trying to get it done. They're very nice when I call, yeah, we'll look into it, we'll put it on the list, but it never happens. And, just yesterday, someone was coming around the corner, thank God she was going slow, I was going slow, but it was like we met right at the corner. I never saw her coming, because, you know, the brush is really high. So, it's kind of a safety thing. And people do drive back there, and unfortunately, the people that live there, most of us go slow, but you have kids that are running quads back there. I mean, you might be able to hear them, but you can't see them. So it would be appreciated if maybe you can put a fire under somebody. And actually, last year, I, on the corners, went out there with my battery operated Milwaukee, thank God I have a couple spares, and I trimmed the corners myself. And I just did it again this past week, where Quail Run and South, where they meet, there's a very bad corner, and I trimmed the whole thing. I mean, it doesn't take that long, and I'm doing it manually, so for them to go with the machine, I think, you know, it's something that it should be looked into. So, thank you.
That was Railway?
Quail Run and Railway. They actually, when I called a few weeks ago, right off of Pole Bridge, where that housing project is, that's where Quail Run starts. They did that little section. They didn't do a good job, but they did it. But that's all they did. Quail Run runs all the way back to, and meets Railway. So that's where the traffic is, and that's where it's bad. So, appreciate it. Thank you.
Good evening, my name is
Justine, how are you?
Justine Miller, 311 Shoshone Trail. Okay, two things. First thing that I just wanted to address was, a couple of years ago, the school district, had a meeting about what was happening with our taxes. It was really informative, but I did a quick Google search just to, give everybody some background, so people just don't think the school is imposing this. Couple years ago, New Jersey, went through a multi-million-dollar state aid reduction. Pemberton was one of them, where they felt like we were getting too much money for too long and some other school districts weren't getting it. It was a Senate bill called S2. So we were projected to lose $26.1 million over several years. Additionally, we were anticipating a $4 million cut in 2020 to 2021. However, because of our municipal overburden and exemption issue, they actually only cut 2.4 million and not 4.4 million. So it's gonna be approximately 26.1 million over 7 years. There is an S2 formula. A simple Google search for anybody could break this down for you to see where we are at, what year this is, how many more years we have to go, and why our municipality is sending money to the district. It's not a Pemberton thing. A lot of schools in New Jersey were affected by this. There were just some, I don't wanna say rich school districts, but school districts that did have money that complained about not getting money over years and years and years, and the same old, it was like Camden, it was like Jersey City, they were like, that just kept getting money, and so they cut us. And we are trying desperately to stay afloat and not cut jobs. I work for the district, I work at the high school, so I just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. Again, just a simple Google search, even on the district, when they did that presentation, you can find the information and see how much money was being cut. It wasn't just a Pemberton thing. Also, the day after tomorrow, Friday, September 5th is the first day of school. All the kids will be out, getting on the buses. There'll be a little bit of traffic in the morning. You know, new kids going back, old kids going back, so just be mindful of that. And then the other thing that I just wanted to mention, there's a lot of talk about the new strip mall. We're redeveloping it where Dairy Queen used to be. And I know it's a long time coming. I know it's an eyesore when we come into our town because the college, you know, is not being utilized. Like, there's a lot on that road when you come in and it looks vacant. It looks a little bit like a ghost town, but my opinion is that, do we want a new shopping center so bad that we're willing to push out our long-term small businesses that we've always had that are part of our community? We already lost Dairy Queen. I know Dairy Queen is a chain, but the guy that was there was here for a long time. There's other people that were in there that were either forced to make a decision to retire because they can't. Like, are we so desperate to have something new and shiny that we wanna ruin kind of what our town is about, and that's small businesses and people that have lived here and done their business here? For me, that's no. I would rather have that small town feel than have a Tractor Supply right across the street from O'Brien's. Like, that's just me. And yes, like, we all want another grocery store to be competitive because Acme is a little bit higher, but again, do we wanna push out our small businesses? And I know that the one grocery mart that was coming in pulled out because of inflation. So, you know, do we also wanna make deals with these people that might come in and build something and then in a year or two pull out? We wanna make sure, in my opinion, I would wanna make sure we're doing it right and we're not pushing small businesses out. Thank you.
No, I want to say a couple things about that. So, we are desperate. Well, we're not desperate to the point where we're gonna put another warehouse in just to get a couple hours. That was a desperate move, the wrong move. We're desperate and we wanna do it the right way. The Tractor Supply thing, those are discussions right now, nothing is finalized. We don't wanna push out O'Brien's or any other small business in any way, shape, or form. That is not our intent. The Dairy Queen left, he was gonna stay, but the Dairy Queen Corporation, we're forcing him to upgrade all of his equipment and start serving food. And he just didn't want to do it anymore, so he retired. You know, so there's a lot of stuff, and as far as the grocery store goes, I know the developer is talking to Aldi to bring them in town. But, like I said, we are desperate, but not just for something new and shiny. We want to get the right businesses in here without hurting what we already have.
That's my
And
goal
I think
too.
a lot of us feel the same way.
Okay.
Justine, if I could add to that, I mean, it's no secret, we had an issue with Mr. Ely. We did everything in our power.
I know.
According to the agreement, all we were supposed to do for Mr. Ely was just provide him assistance in moving to another location. You know, a location came up, he found, and everybody here on council did our very best to persuade him. You know, administration, but unfortunately, when push comes to shove, administration has the final say. And when the answer is no, that property is not gonna budge, and we're not gonna sell it to him, we have to go back to the agreement and unfortunately move forward with town. Are we all sad to lose him? There's not a person up here who's not. We don't want to, but we do have to move forward. So we have to go back to the agreement. The agreement is we're gonna help him move his stuff, help him store it until he finds a location. And that's where we're at. We're gonna provide him with all the assistance we can.
That's fair, I agree with that.
Good evening. Joe Fallon, Clubhouse Road. Just to take off on that last, I don't believe having a Tractor Supply in that empty place, what we call a shopping center, is beneficial to the town as a whole. It takes away from what the flavor of this municipality is, which is a small community town. Bringing in Tractor Supply will ultimately drive out O'Brien's. And the reason I know that, in Trenton, where I worked for 50 years, I had a customer of mine, a Lake Hardware store, family owned, very busy, on a corner, right next to a 7-Eleven. So less than a mile away, they opened up Home Depot. Within 3 years, they closed down. Bringing in a Tractor Supply will not benefit the small family-owned businesses in this community. So I didn't come up here to talk about that, but because of that, I just wanted to add to that. I don't think it'd be beneficial. Another food superstore, sure, a little competition for the actors. I think that's sorely needed. Last meeting, I may have missed it, but did we increase the budget for the recreation department? So we're going to pay someone more money than what we were paying previous staff members that were running the department.
That's not.
Not actual?
No.
So I misunderstood that he's going to be paid more money and going to have benefits over and above?
Do you have another question after that, or is that the only thing you were asked?
I'm sorry?
Was that the only question you had, or do you have more?
That was
Was the main one?
one, I have others that kind of come off of that, but that was one question I did have, because I understood that he was going to be compensated more than what the previous salaries that were being paid to the staff members that are no longer there.
Ask the rest of your questions, and I'll address them.
Okay, sure, fair enough. So my question was, okay, where is the money coming from that we're going to have to pay over and above what was previously budgeted for the staff that was there operating? The other question, of course, that's going to have, going forth into future years, we're going to be paying whatever it is he's going to be getting that I understood was going to be a higher salary. So that's going to be an ongoing cost to the township. So my next question off of that was, so what are we getting for this additional payments that we're all going to have to pay? For programs that have been running fine, are we getting something over and above what we've been getting for those programs? Because, I mean, I've thought about what happened at the last meeting when you all voted for this. And I'm thinking, yeah, we're going to get the same services, we're going to pay more for it, basically in taxes. off of that, I just wanted to ask a question. When this is all said and done with all of these lawsuits settled, however they're going to get settled, will the public get a full accounting of what this cost is going to be to the township, including the cost for the legal services to represent us, not just the settlements? Because I think the public should know what has happened here in terms of cost. We're going to pay the bill. It's not coming out of anybody else's pockets. It's out of our pockets, your pockets, our pockets. And I think people should know this. Too many times this stuff gets buried and no one knows about it. And I think it ought to be out there in front of everybody so they understand what has happened. And with that, Buzzer, I will say, I'll end it.
Good timing. Okay, so the rec director, is not getting paid more than the previous rec director. He's not. I can go play him right now, show you.
I got a budget at home, this fucking thing.
Uh-oh.
Don't tell no lies here.
He's not getting paid.
He's getting paid more. Cut and drop.
He's not.
He is.
He's not.
He is.
Now you understand why I am
Yeah.
questioning.
I'll show you right now.
Why'd you say 75,000 at
I
the bottom tier of the
apologize.
store?
I-
Why'd you say 75,000?
You're okay, Eric.
You gave me 97, it says 75 right on here, and you jumped right to 97.
No. you told
Now
me-
stand up there and tell another damn lie.
$88,000.
Speak into the microphone.
I'm getting clarification, I'm sorry. Okay, I might be wrong. So I apologize. I'll double check that later. So whatever you can give is still within the band that we're allowed to pay. So there's no extra that we're paying that's not budgeted.
Again, I hate to disagree. We set a budget that had a maximum amount that we were gonna pay a recreation director. And that was $88,000, not $97,000 plus benefits. No, we want this all to be out here.
Okay.
He is being
The way
paid
to do
more.
it, the way you're doing it's not right. So calm down or leave, period. Let's do what you're saying.
He is being paid more in salary, more in benefits, and it's all in the budget. It was not approved in the budget that way, because the previous director was approved to get $88,000 plus her benefits. So we're paying this one $9,000
Okay, I'm
change
wrong,
more.
I'll admit that I'm wrong, but I'm not gonna raise my voice at you like I just did.
Well, you know, I just want this to be out there and it's clear.
And
He
I
asked,
said,
he
you
asked
know
the
what's wrong,
question.
so don't be an ass about it.
I-
Period, all right, thank you.
Okay.
What was your other question?
People wanna know.
Well, the other question was, at the end of the day, will the public get an account of what?
And we've been trying to share those numbers with you at every meeting as it adds up. At the end of the day, I think the commission is helping, right?
Well, if I were to come up here a year from now and say, okay, what did all of these suits, settlements cost the township, including legal representation at these hearings?
We'll make sure you get all that.
Okay, because I think that's something, as I said, the public needs to know. This has cost us,
I know.
and it's going to cost us a lot
Mounting
more.
up.
And I don't think we need to have that out there, because this is another reason why we have to consider a change in government. Because this cannot be allowed to happen again. Because it has cost us, not only has it cost us money, but it's cost one individual for sure. The laundromat owner a lot. Thank you.
We can take a 5-minute recess. Council, you want to?
Are we done?
No, we're taking a recess. Go on.
Mary Reynolds, Brunswick. I just wanna say one thing about what just happened here tonight. I hope council members don't get so frustrated by the way this township is operating that it affects your feelings for this township and the reasons that you ran and the reasons that you're sitting up there and the reasons that you went together as a team. Because I understand, and I think most people in this audience understand, but I'm not sure our public understands, that you have someone sitting in this office every single day that answers to nobody, that undermines you on a consistent basis, that makes backroom deals without your knowledge. And then in 2 weeks, you come in here and you're battered by the public for everything that's happened that people have questions about or people feel is wrong. And it's not fair. It isn't fair. Don't let it affect you. Don't let it affect your relationships and the way you care deeply, so deeply about this township and its residents. Because this is going away eventually, even if we have to wait it out, it's going away. And it's still our township, it's our community, and we really need you, so please don't fail us. That's all.
I'll say it again, and I think I'm making a habit of this. I apologize for the outburst, but frustration took over, and we can't let that happen. I do apologize.
And I also apologize for my foul language. And we were both very passionate about this, and at the end of the day, we're all still gonna work together, you know. We're gonna have our disagreements. Nobody's leaving, nobody's going anywhere, but, yeah. I apologize.
All right, well, after the highlights, good evening, council. And hey, granted, I know that, you know, I belong on several boards as well, and there is a certain amount of decorum, but now and again, people get a little frustrated, and I get it. I get frustrated here too. I mean, I see what's going on. You know, some of the ordinances, I'm looking at the water here again with the bond, quite a few things. I talked to one of the council members here a minute ago while you were in session. One of the questions I had tonight is on the cannabis issue. I apologize because normally I'm pretty well informed before I come in here and have most of the answers in my head when I ask the question. Once again, that would take you a little ways there, Matt, on that as well. When that question was posed, understanding the answer before and not using the municipal math or Hornicle math as I used to call it. So once again, not a lie, but understanding it prior to that, and that might have taken that out of that equation to start with. So I do apologize for not being as informed as I should be tonight. So that we have here in the ordinance that was going into agricultural production and AR. I think that there's some issues following that. I realize some of it has to do with Pinelands. I know we had an argument on this prior on the 27 acres over on North Pemberton Road, because it is not actually agricultural production, it is a warehouse with cannabis growing in it. That is not agricultural production. Our Secretary of Ag in the state and I have had that discussion as well, along with solar, which is another joke. It's a Ponzi scheme. The question why I was asking this, because it seems to be the same players that are involved in this, a certain realtor and a certain attorney. So that was my question on the cannabis. The other question I had, which we pulled, and I was really fired up on that one, but you guys took my fire away from me on that was the donation on the Greenberg farm. Anyway, the other question I had was concerning back on the water again, and looking at the 1.9 million on that. We already have other bonds out that we've not paid for so far in the last couple budgets I looked at, going back to Barnacle Math again. That how far are we gonna kick this can down the road? And once again, a lot of this is going towards a development that's going in on agricultural ground. So my question is, these grants and these fundings and all these other things that are just, wonderful and moving forward in progress, it's not creating progress. I'm looking at, some of these useful lifespans that you have. You're tying into an antiquated water system, which I believe Mr. Harper and I discussed at the last council meeting. I've done this, okay? I've been there. I know what happens when you tie into old water main. You have issues, and you start adding pressure to it, and everybody, thinks that municipal water is 60 pound PSI. Normally it's not. It usually runs around 40 at the best, okay? But you have old plant packs, you have old joints, it falls apart. Hydrants, same thing. Where they have the hydrants, same thing. Retaining glands, they fall apart. You have issues. So I'm questioning, once again, why, if we're going to get down this road, and Hovnanian has the approval once again, which is a joke over there, that this started as a blight because of the buildings. And if you can't call it a blight now, I don't know what the hell you call it. That why are they not paying for the whole shooting match, and we shouldn't be doing anything on the township end of it? If they want the water, that's on them. It has nothing to do with this. Nothing against our solicitor. I seen it in the paper that it was a great negotiation and everything else. I would hate to have any of them negotiate a business deal for me. I really would. And I don't know if that's on the administration end of it, but dear God help me. I don't think any of them could run a lemonade stand, not alone in this township. So anyway, on that, if anybody can answer on the pot thing for me and on water, please.
What was the question regarding the cannabis?
Where we were at versus agricultural production, it was owned under the AP and the AR. I mean, we already went through enough spot zoning in this township. And why it was going down that road, because it's not agricultural production. And that was all 6 categories, I believe. That was under wholesale, distributor, so on and so forth down the road. So where are we heading with that, and on what properties are we looking for that on? Like I said, I got a funny feeling where this is involved.
So at this time,
I think what I saw on that was anything within the pine lands is exempt. There's no cannabis in the pine lands. So the only place that this could possibly play would be on the other side of the borough, towards 206.
And or on North Pemberton Road, where we tried before.
Well, that's north of borough, towards 206.
Well,
Sorry.
just north.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as my reading, the only thing I know is the corrections were made because of the pine lands. They wanted those corrections added to it. I don't think they've changed anything on your side of town, and I don't believe we have anything in the works happening there. I mean, you never know from one day to the next, but, I don't think there's anything that's actively happening at this point in time.
Been eliminated.
And as far as the water thing, I mean, yes, we do have a lot of outstanding grants, Mr. Dewey will tell you, and we're trying to button them up. You'll see on one of the resolutions, we're closing out a couple grants tonight, that have been finalized. I understand there are 2 more grants that are in the works of being finalized. I don't know if we'll have them for the next meeting or not, but we have been after DPW to tighten things up and close these grants, because it's our money. We want our money back, and try to balance the books, if you say. So, I mean, on these 2 that were finalized tonight, I think, getting a little over $325,000 of taxpayers' money back. That's all I need.
Joe, do we know who the author of this ordinance is?
Probably Mr. Dennis.
For the, changes in, for the,
Just add the language for something finance, with all the changes.
Yeah, it's not necessarily changing, it's adding to it
This
as
stuff
far as.
still all exists, we just change, they just change what the finance requires.
Mr. Galverson, can I take a stab at this, sir? Because I did talk with Mr. Dasty about this, because as you know, I am totally against, I mean, we were supposed to make $9 million a year off the place up there, right? I believe, and I'll give this to you, Pat, or I'll send it to you. There's a lot of no change page, I don't know the number, but D, number 2D, in the portions of the R3 zoning district that is located outside of the Pinelands Regional Growth Area and inside of the Pinelands Regional Growth Area needs to be adjusted. So this has to do with everything that is inside of the Pinelands control. Okay, Pinelands control. Okay, so, if there is anything, I'll take a look at it and I'll talk with Jerry or somebody else and we'll figure it out. But I'm pretty sure this is just specifically for Pinelands, has to be adjusted, because they're gonna start, allowing what they want to allow.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like you said, it just wasn't not clear to me the way that it was with A, B, and AR involved in it once again, which I know you had this argument before in the zoning part of it, and I didn't know where that was headed to. But anyway, I appreciate that, and like you said, with the water part of it on that resolution, I would say no on it, because the other problem that everybody seems to fall short of is these grants. It's still our money. It's tax money, no matter how you look at it, whether we're paying it into the township or we're paying it into the state. It's not free money. Now, I realize that the left looks at it that way, that it falls out of trees, and the Federal Reserve keeps printing it, but that's not how this works in the real world. So, with that, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Council President, can I add one thing? You had mentioned tying into an existing water network, and sometimes when you do that, you have issues because of things going on. We thought of that too. Some of the council members were in meetings. I believe it was KHOP paid for an engineering firm to go into the borough and review their system and check it. And they spent some time in there doing inspections and stuff, and they're telling us, and they're telling the borough primarily, since they're the owner of the system, that any changes that's gonna be done, their system can support.
Well, I can tell you the check's in the mail too, Mr. Mayor, and I've worked with this. So, I'm the developer that just spent $5.5 million on that ground over there. What do you think I'm going to tell you?
It's not the developer, it's the engineering firm they hired.
Okay.
And-
Once
and I
again,
got
and who was
what you're
involved with this? ARH?
No,
No.
No, originally, who was involved in it?
but this is the borough's engineer.
Right, but who was involved in the initial? All right, thank you.
I hear they're getting a whole new water system for.
Once again, no lie.
So the previous rec director was getting paid more than what Mr. Russell offered. There were longevity raises, stuff like that. However, the budget doesn't reflect that number. It's about a $7,000 difference. That's what the discrepancy should be in Mr. Harper. So we're in the same ballpark with what we're paying the new guy.
From now into the future, as long as he's with us, I would presume.
I'm gonna make a public service announcement, and Joe, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Mr. Giverson was just up here discussing two ordinances that are up for public comment. And, this is just for everybody's edification. When you want to discuss an ordinance and whether you are for or against the ordinance, those comments should be made during the public comment section of that ordinance, and I'm gonna tell you why. At times, we get requests from attorneys for comments made on ordinances. When there is future litigation or anything that occurs, whether it's for or against, I'm not stating one way or the other. It's for the if you want your comments heard or possibly noted during a future issue regarding that ordinance, whatever the subject of the ordinance may be, you should make those comments during the public comment for that ordinance, the public hearing, I should say. Am I?
Correct. Yeah.
So, Mr. Giverson, what I'm gonna ask you to do, because you had a lot of comments regarding these two ordinances, just come up to the mic during those ordinances and say, please refer back to my public comments. And that way it'll be in the notes, so if something is requested, because 5 years from now, when I get something, I'm not gonna remember, oh wait, those comments were made during public comment during that meeting. It will be noted in the minutes, and they'll be able to refer back to what you said during public comments rather than the public hearing. So if you have comments regarding any ordinance, regardless of the subject, they should be discussed during the public hearing. That is the purpose of that public hearing section, part of the purpose, but it does come into play in the future at times, so. That's it.
Okay, good evening, council. James Bowler, 226 Filbert Avenue. I come to you as a resident. I know that there are a lot of things that, as residents, you can relate to. Most of us here are residents. The residents behind me know that when we come here, we're representing ourselves, but there are also people who don't make it here for various reasons, busy schedules. Some people are just not cut out for it, or they're just not up for it. Some people are a little afraid. So we do what we can. And I hope that you can relate to me on what I'm about to say, because I'm going to tell you that I've been playing a game for years in this town with people who represent the town, officials who represent the town. And it's not a game that I wanted to play, but it's a game I got caught up in. And you probably played this game before. You start off by asking a question, and you get a short answer. But then you want to ask a more detailed question, and then you get a non-answer. So then you try and do some research, then you collaborate, then you do some open requests. Then you're up at night researching, trying to find out the truth. And you get clues, but what you were really hoping for the whole time was just a real answer in the first place. And so you go back and forth, and then you say to yourself after, how much resource goes into this, besides your own personal resource, taken away from your own personal life, the resources that are expended on the township's behalf, the back and forth, just trying to get answers. And I'm talking about answers for things that concern residents like eyesores, safety issues, not anything really more than that. And this is a game that I've played since 4 BAs ago, 2 department heads, 2 former department heads. I'm speaking about people who are no longer here. 5 former employees, and 9 former council members, and 1 former mayor. So with all those former officials, I played this game. So I'm used to it. It gets tiring after a while. And one thing that a lot of people I think can relate to, and something that's been in the paper, something that's come up again and again and again, we do have selective enforcement. It's been that way for a long time. And I think that one of the consistencies with the selective enforcement is that small issues get tackled. Small issues for the people who only have small issues, and small issues get tackled for the people who have big issues on top of small issues. So what we see is that we have a very, very busy code enforcement department, and they go around tackling small issues. Some people are saying, why are you passing by all these bigger issues and addressing my smaller issues? Why are you going right up to these bigger issues and only attacking their smaller issues? That's something that no one can tell me there isn't enough time to tackle the bigger issues. That's not something where anyone can say that the smaller issues are the only issues here, and that there's no time to do anything else. How can it be that we have people who are basically harassed for not having a lid on a garbage can, while someone next door has piles of garbage? How is it that people are told your house numbers aren't big enough when we have houses that are collapsing, and they're corporate-owned houses that are collapsing, and they're not getting fined? Yet, we have people who own well-maintained properties, who might go on vacation, who might have a few months of it not being occupied, and they're the ones paying the vacant property registration fees, even though it's being well-maintained. Something doesn't add up, and it hasn't been fixed, and it's been going on for a long time, like I said. And so, what I want to impress upon you tonight is that as we go through our lives, and as we go through our positions in life, is to recognize when this happens, and to speak up, because right is right, wrong is wrong, and there's really no two ways about that. We all know the difference.
Siri suggestion, Matt, phone, messenger, Safari, messages, camera, photos, settings, search.
So anyway, that's what I want to stress, is if you're tired of playing games, just like I'm tired of playing games, let's speak up for what's right and do the right thing. Thank you very much.
All right, I guess move on to resolutions. Oh.
Good evening, everybody. I am Vicky Adams, 613 Sanger Drive. How are you doing tonight? Good. I try to wait till the end so that all my questions are already answered, so I only have a couple. First of all, I want to know on 26 or 267-25 if any of those park improvements are going to be at the T&M Park. It hasn't been touched in years. It was tore down and never remodeled, never, no toys, nothing for the kids. So I wanted to know if that was gonna be included in the area of improvements. I wanna thank you for having 268 on here, but I don't understand why it needs to be on here, because when, I applied for the Affordable Housing Fund, it was already approved. So why do you guys have to approve it again? Just question. Okay, also I'd like everybody to know that we are still doing the petition for the recall of the mayor. And that, we are looking for people who would like to help us with that. So if anybody could contact me, either on Facebook or at home, on the phone. A lot of people know me, you can look me up on Facebook, Vicki Lynn Adams. We are doing, we've got about maybe 150 right now. The chairman's been out every night, well, not every night, most nights, at different areas. This week he'll be at Cold Bridge on Friday from 3:30 to dusk, and at Saturday he'll be out in the Nesbitt Center area from 8 to 5. So anybody who wants to stop by, you know, I also want to thank Harry and also Mr. Dewey. I love your passion for transparency, for letting people know what is going on, and, you know, that's why I pleaded for so long for this camera to be going, for this YouTube, so that people knew what was going on in town. You're fine, Mr. B. We are, and I love the passion that you have, and that's what we need up here, is passionate people for our community and what's best. But the transparency is what the people are demanding. That's, the transparency is not behind the scene, things being done They wanna know where their money's going, they wanna know why things are happening the way they're happening, and that they're, and stuff like that. So I wanna thank you as a council for that, and I personally don't take your outbursts tonight as anything but a passion for this community. Also, let's see if I have anything else. I think that's it. So I just,
So 267/2025, single out versus passion. My wife didn't think, so I got a really bad text from her. So this is closing out the file on improvements that have already been complete, so we can get our reimbursement,
okay.
okay? I'm not sure, now, were you approved initially under the old program?
I was actually approved and literally sitting in my chair waiting for the contractor to show
I
up.
remember that now.
And they canceled it.
Yeah, I
And
remember that.
found out that it was canceled 6 months before, but I had just signed all the paperwork. Really bad situation.
I believe this one, and Joe, I don't know if you know, I think it's because this is done under the new program, that's why they.
Right, but I've already been approved for that.
Yeah, but it's to approve the contractor under the new program, yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
what-
everybody has to go through this process?
I'm sorry?
Everybody will have to go through this,
Yes.
okay. Just
It won't
asking.
affect you getting what you're gonna get, it's just, it's the process.
Yeah, no, I'm just asking, I mean, I just thought it was weird that I looked down here and saw my address, I was like, okay, you know?
Vicky, that happens in every town with these affordable housings, the county does it too. They post the address and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
just one of the steps.
Yeah, just if someone's not expecting it and they, you know, I wanted to know why. Because I thought it was already a done deal, they've already contacted me to pick my stuff and, you know, all that, so it just seems weird that you're approving it now. To me, it should have been approved before. So, see, that's part of the problem with the last one, we've been canceling it, because literally I was sitting on my couch when they canceled it. I'm waiting for the guy, I finally called him and said, hey, didn't the township tell you? They canceled this project. And then find out later that certain people pulled the plug on it for me and somebody else. You know, that person doesn't like too much. So, it just, you know, I didn't want this to be like something similar. Okay, so again, I do want, yes,
I think in the past, they had an outside company that handled all this paperwork.
Right.
And it cost the township about $250,000.
yes.
And as of this year, it's all pulled inside. And our, doing the paperwork, talking to the residents.
Yeah, so far the only problem I've seen with this new program is that you have one contractor. Where, when they sent out contractors before, I had 3 contractors to choose from, they gave 3 bids. The company picked the lowest bid, which for me turned out to be the one that I wanted, and I was able to get everything done. With this new contractor, I'm only able to get one thing done out of the 4 things, because the price was so high. And it's not like prices have went up so much in 6 months.
It was put out for all local businesses to apply.
Right, but I was told that only one contractor applied, and I was told that no more contractors are gonna be added. So that's the only thing that concerns me about this particular program.
You're a very good contractor, and it's all over with. I think you'll be very happy.
So, I'll let you know.
Oh, I know that.
Okay, thanks, guys.
At Guthrie, Birmingham Road. Good evening, gentlemen. Most of my questions have been answered to, by the previous people speaking. I just have one on the bill list. Can you tell me if I heard right, we're giving 1.9 million to the Board of Education? Do you have a breakdown of the spending on the 1.9?
That's more of it, we don't.
Penny, that's the taxes that we collected for the quarter, the school board taxes.
Okay, so when, like I pay my tax bill
comes here.
And certain amount, and then you guys just
We have to
transfer it over?
reimburse them what they.
Oh, okay, so it's not like anything above an additional. Okay, that answers my question, thank you.
Well, you're gonna get it now. Wait for me.
That was an invitation to you, by the way, before.
That's all right. Read it too. Read it too. He said no. Back you ran into a corner, didn't you?
Nope.
That's
Absolutely not.
You guys played, you three played right into his game. His game, just like Marie just said. I'm not gonna lose you, I still got faith. But this guy is playing this. It's like you said before you made your vote. If I don't do this, what are we gonna hear? Right? About the recreation. If you don't vote, then you would've been, I had 20 years experience, you didn't hire me. This is not what I voted for now. You said conservative spending, I don't see it, not seeing it. I see it over here, Dewey and Harper. Not seeing it over here. Could've been 80,000, could've been 81,000. No, let's go right to 97,000. Yes. It's just ridiculous. It really is. What about the business administrator? I think we should be more worried about hiring a business administrator than a recreational department. That's gotta be done first. Each of them been involved in hiring under recreation, the business administrator. There we got Harper and Dewey over here, at least they watch the spending a little bit. I thought you guys were gonna be in on the spending too, cut the spending and all this, it ain't happening. He's gonna back you right into a corner, this clown, right here. I don't know if any of it's going to Browns Mills. I know you go that way all the time. Boy, you go that way. I don't know if you guys. You ever see that grass around Hungry Piney sign? Could I get a weed whacker and just cut it myself? Seriously, does anybody say anything to Public Works? Do you ever reprimand him? This guy that runs public, I mean, the grass is growing up in the sidewalks. This is what I look at when I go uptown. To the Acme, the McDonald's. This is what I look at, our town. The grass growing in the sidewalks. This is what I see, the abandoned shopping center. 60-some years, this is what I look at. You wanna write it down and tell him about it? Like the lady that came up here at the last council meeting and told you about the grass that was growing out of the sidewalk over by the Acme? Guess what? It's still growing out of there. Have you looked at it?
Yep.
And it's still growing out of there, right? You haven't done nothing about it.
I have done something.
What have you done? It's still growing out of there. You wanna take a ride and go look at it?
Are you done?
No, I'm not done. That's some other shit. I'm just disappointed in that vote, really was. I didn't think you would do that. But I understand. You backed it into a corner. That's it, that's all I got to say. I don't even wanna hear your excuses. Just shut up. I'm going home to watch the Phillies play.
Mr. Anderson, do me a favor, give me the respect of listening to me, as I listen to everything you always have to say. If you're an old school Piney, it is you, and trust me, I'm all ears.
That man over there is too.
I've spent 20 years here learning how to not get back in a corner, okay? To get back into a corner, you have to have a conversation with somebody. You'd have to listen to what they have to say about if you don't. no conversations ever exist, my friend. There's no conversations from administration with me whatsoever. It was nothing more than common sense on my end, and I sat here and for minutes, as somebody, 10 to 12 minutes, giving the reasons that I don't want to, and I don't want to give him the job. The biggest thing was taking a resident's job with a non-resident.
Oh, that's the other part I didn't touch.
But when you sit
That
back,
didn't sit well either with me.
what's that?
About him.
It doesn't
not
sit well with me either.
Go ahead.
You're talking to somebody who collected a paycheck here for a
How
short
many
career.
residents do we have in this town? How many? 28,000, maybe more. We can't find somebody who can run recreation.
The applications were accepted, Joe. And the only.
Well, like you said,
let me
nobody
finish.
would wanna come up here with him.
The only faith I had in the interview process, after I've sat in on an interview, was the other individual, the other employee of this town who sat in on the interview. And when that person told me they are absolutely the best person for the job, I had no reason to doubt that individual. They are very competent, they know what this town needs, and they have sat here all this time and watched what goes on without a rec director. And I can tell you, with no recreation department, the one thing I've heard here for the last 12 months was we haven't had a water carnival. A no vote from me at that time, the pressure that was put on me, I can tell you that no vote would have been a no water carnival next year. And that had nothing to do.
If he's still here, it still could be
Let
no
me-
water carnival.
let
He
me
has the
finish.
final say on that, don't he?
Please let me finish.
Does he have the final say on the water carnival?
I couldn't begin to tell you, Joe.
He did this year.
Apparently it's collective, and I can't do anything but take somebody's word for it. Is anybody here happy about it? No, they're not. But I can assure you, 100% certainty is no rec director, no water carnival. And the other things that are under recreation, what does that mean for our beaches next summer if we don't have a rec director? Are we gonna have lifeguards?
They're in the senior center.
Without even getting into that. Joe, I have to look out for the best interest. Again, that was a perfect example of me voting the way I didn't want to vote. For the best interest of what I thought I was elected to do for this town.
Oh, I
That's
have
what
one
I
other
did.
question. How many people are gonna be under this recreational
I have
department?
no knowledge
Who
on
does the
that.
hiring for them?
I have no knowledge on that. The recreation department, I would imagine, will be under the rec director. I would imagine the mayor makes the appointments based upon his recommendations.
What's their salaries?
There's no,
60,000, 70,000, 80,000? What are you gonna prove? Who approves that? What are you gonna prove for them?
See when it comes, Joe. We were, but, so. To Perry's point, we weren't back in the corner. We had to do what we thought was right for the town. Because we were trying, and I said in my closing comments the last meeting, you would have seen services cut like crazy. We would have had no rec department, we would have had no festivals, no nothing. Senior services would have been cut. I mean, it was a tough decision.
Yeah, I understand
It had to
that.
be made, Joe. It
What
had
would
to be
make you vote no?
What's that?
What would make you vote no?
If we, at least, if we had a staff in there and no director, I would have voted no. Okay, if there's nobody,
nobody.
there's zero.
So you would have took anybody.
No, not anybody. So this
So what would you make you vote no?
So this person came highly recommended. And Marie, you know what I'm talking about. From a former employee from here said, if you don't hire this guy, you're missing out.
And like I say, that was a recommendation from somebody who did an outstanding
Who was
job.
the rec director, right?
Who was the rec director.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about her too. She's so great.
Council President, if I can say one thing, you're kind of incorrect. The senior services would have never been canceled. We have a competent supervisor there that would have been able to run that department without it.
All right.
Joe,
You ain't lost me yet.
personally,
Still with this.
personally, Joe,
You know, I told you, I'm not gonna agree with you, so.
One problem is, Joe, you're not gonna make 100% of the people happy all the time,
I
and I'm
know.
good with that. But if I sit up here and I go to bed at night knowing the decision I made was in the best interest of everybody that put me here, then I'm fine with
But
it.
I'm still saying, watch his games. He's playing games with us. You don't think he's not? Playing games with you. He knows he's not coming back. He knows, you know what he wants to do? He wants to drag all of you right now with him. Make sure that you don't come back either. He don't come back, you don't come back. That's what he wants. He wants to drag you right into it. Just like his supporters on social media, always blaming the council. Never say a word about the mayor. Boy, you love PL. I don't know what the hell it is you do for PL. We got him a pickleball court, and that's what it was.
Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Jim.
Is that good enough? Good enough.
Good evening, everybody in general. I'm going to start with Coldbridge Children's Park. I want to know with those grants they're going to have or they're going to get, if Coldbridge Park will be rebuilt back again. They tear it up apart. Well, those children doesn't have a place to go. Please, build their park back again. Will be nice. They go every place and everybody got a little park. They left on the blind, and it's not right. They got the same rights and the same thing the other little towns have it for themselves. Okay, second, I want to touch it. I recall myself when I went and worked for the state. When you are hired, you work by the steps. That's how your salary goes. Step 1, step 2, I remember it was step 13, the last one. That's how your salary goes. It's not to somebody coming in here and say, hey, this is what we're going to give you. Doesn't come from our pockets. Come from the taxpayer pocket. We the sucker gotta pay. Okay, I leave it there. I'm not touching that. I asked a question last time also in reference to presidential aids. Empty lots. I noticed me walking up Virginia Drive. There is a house is coming in there. A little piece of the land. How can the inspector or the township approve that? That person gotta put a well in the front. There is no place to put a well in there. There was a hole in there. You gotta leave 4 feet out from the road. The well gotta come in there, the septic gotta come in the back. I'd like to know who was that dum-dum inspector who approved the permit for these people. That's not fair. There was a big hole in there. I used to walk in there. Guess what? There's a house is coming in there. I will find a lot more information. And that's the reason I asked in the past. In the old days, all the chairs were occupied. You got problem with the code enforcement? It's there to answer your question. To the inspector, the building inspector, to the police chief or whatever, to the fire department, they weren't there. You got any problem? When you come in here, the only thing I know that you got your hands tied. I know that. There's only one seat here, occupied, that's it. But when we ask questions, sometimes we cannot get no answer. Okay, now I'm going to touch my main subject. It's like a song I've been singing. 530 East and Route 7 East. That the township is doing something about it? Get together with the state and the county? That road is very dangerous. If you live around there and you gotta cross every day, I know you gotta count your blessing if you are alive that after you cross there. I haven't seen no crosses yet there, but I know there is a lot of accidents. And I intend to come to that office down the corner and pick it up, a letter to take it to the commissioners. Because I spoke to somebody in the police department, and they told me where I can go and get a letter. But I just hope the our administration, at least they take on consideration our residents gotta cross the road to go to work. They wanna come home to their families. Okay, I'm going to touch my next subject in here. When I walk, oh, wait a minute. About 5 minutes, okay. When I walk around, there is a street, the signs are missing. I called one time, they told me they put a new sign. How can you want to put a new sign in the street and the same, you put the same stupid sign when I walk by? Okay, I live there and I just hope, I know that the township, for the administration, being cut all, found that they clean their lots there. Florida, New York, Connecticut, and Tennessee. Now the cell tower. Okay, with the cell tower, I'm going to touch that for the last time. I know how much money the township will get. Fire department not going to get nothing, because since we are fire department for the township, I know how much they will be getting too. That's mean that they are fighting who's going to get the money. I know there is a D in there, and I know how that piece of land came there. Mr. Greenberg handed to the fire department, I leave it that way.
Stills, where on Virginia Avenue is that property?
Virginia Drive after the old lake storm.
Okay.
Will be in the left-hand side, I cannot remember the
Right
number.
about the middle bend, right before it goes.
Got it. And what street signs are missing? Where's that?
I cannot tell you all the street I walk around. You got the public workers, they driving around there, up and down. That's the job to look for.
I'll drive around tomorrow and look.
Good, I'm glad.
I'll pick you up. What time?
You're gonna have to walk it though.
Walking, not driving.
So resolutions?
Hold up, you got Michelle.
Here.
Oh.
Good evening.
Welcome back.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's really happy night to see everybody tonight. Yeah, everybody made me feel so welcome. The residents, they're awesome. Wow, somebody was short. Okay, I just wanted to say this, if it's okay, I just wanted to say that. Harry, thank you for speaking up. I appreciate that. And I want to say, Matthew, thank you for admitting you were wrong. That's all I want to say about that. Hey, we all, lose it once in a while. And although I never did hear, never heard that word up here for a long time. But it's all right. It's all right, Harry. I'll tell you one thing. I wish I could say I never use that word, but I did quit cursing a lot. This is Michelle from, Browns Mills. Did I already say my name, or no? I'm supposed to say my name. Okay, this is Michelle Foreman, in case I didn't say my name. Okay, so I'm just gonna make a few comments. Okay, so, the school wants a lot of money. I was always thought, we have to give it, we have to, whatever they want, we have to get, we have to get. Are we allowed to request an audit before we approve that money to give to them? Are we allowed to request an audit? You're not allowed to request an audit.
Michelle, it's their money that we collected from their tax, from the taxes. We collected tax money, then we reimbursed the school board their share of their taxes. It's not coming out of our pocket. It's coming out of the residents' pocket. That's the school tax.
It's what we own in school tax, that's all it is.
Okay, so when I'm finished sharing, I appreciate your comments, Dan, Mr. Dewey, but I just wanna know, are we allowed to request an audit, yes or no? That's what I want. You're not allowed to request an audit, that doesn't seem to make
The
sense.
school board releases a budget each year that this money goes towards. If that answers your question.
Well, put it
The
this way.
money's already been allocated.
Does anybody know when the last time they had an audit done on them?
I'm not aware of that.
Somebody should look into that, okay. 2, thank you very much. Okay, 2 is, it just doesn't make sense that Candace Penwell is gonna be the representative to the Burlington County Joint Insurance Fund when she just collected a bunch of money from a lawsuit, from what I heard. I'm just saying a few things on this that just don't make sense to me. Okay, the other thing I wanted to say that doesn't make sense to me, the recreational person is gonna be the director. No way, we don't start them above what the other girl worked for years to get. We don't start them above that, we start them at or below. If he does an exceptional job, we'll increase his pay. It doesn't make sense to just give him all this money. You see if he does a good job, then you give him a raise. Thank you for your thumbs up, Harry. Okay, then the other questions I have is, I'm trying to talk fast, okay. If the mayor was to step down like he's been asked to do many, many times, if Vicky gets enough signature and he gets pushed out of office, who would be responsible for the lawsuit? Him or the township? Because I was told that if he steps down, these lawsuits are gonna go to him. Not the township's not gonna have to pay for it. Does anybody know the answer to that question? The question is, did you say what's the question?
No,
Okay,
I said
so
let
then-
you finish all your questions.
Oh, okay, let me finish the question. Okay, just to be clear on it, the question is, if he was to step down for whatever reason before the time is up, who's responsible for the future pending lawsuits that didn't go through yet? That's my question. Because I was told that if he steps down, then he's responsible, that's why he's staying in office. Because his life will be ruined if he steps down and he had to be responsible for the payment of all these lawsuits. That's 2. That's one question. And the other question is, hold on a second. Okay, skip that. Okay, I'm making a comment. I thought all vacation properties have registration fees. I heard if you have a vacant property, it costs you $200 a month, so I don't know what James was talking about, how some get it and some don't. I thought they all do. Is anybody looking into that we are making sure that vacant properties are getting paid? And that's it. That's all I can say.
At this time, I can't give you a very detailed answer. I tend to think that that wouldn't be the case because at the time those lawsuits were initiated, he was a public employee. So I can't give you a definitive answer right now, but that's my initial thoughts.
Can you look into it for the next time I come
Yeah.
over here to the meeting? Was there any other questions? Anybody writing them down, paying attention to me? Just wanna make sure before I step.
As far as the vacant houses, as far as I know, after they're on, correct me if I'm wrong, I think after they're vacant for over a year, then they start getting a fee on them. How much it is, I don't know, but after a year of being vacant, they're all supposed to get charged the vacant property fee.
Has anybody looked into whether they're actually getting charged $200?
Yeah, you'd have to call community development and ask them if they, I don't know if that list is available or not, but, you know, that's who you'd have to call, they're the ones responsible for that.
Okay, thank you. Great to see everybody. All the grandparents here,
And welcome
the
back.
new grandparents to be, the grandparents. Oh, we're all not getting younger, I'll say that.
Before I prematurely start the resolutions, any other questions, comments? All right. 262, 263, 267, and 274? Okay, so 267, 274. Josh, are you good with resolution?
I make a motion that we approve the, resolutions on the consent agenda as amended.
I'll second.
Mr. Harper,
Yes.
Mr. Dewey,
Yes.
Mr. Ward,
Yes.
Mr. Doyle,
Yes.
Mr. Beaky.
Yes. Resolution 267-2025 closes out 2017 and 2020 Burlington County Municipal Park Development Program grants for improvements to Imagination Kingdom, West End Park, and various other park improvements. Discussion?
Yeah, I have some discussions I'd like to make. So 2017 has got to be Imagination Kingdom, so that's 8 years old, that grant. What I don't understand is why would it take 8 years to close out that playground when it's gotta be done for at least 5 years? We pay engineers, we buy the equipment, we install it, and we can't push it over the finish line because nobody can apply for the grant, so we get our money back. We have to get to the bottom of this because there's gotta be many, many more that went through the cracks. I'd like to ask Joe if we could get with the director, and I think that this council needs a legible spreadsheet on all open grants that we received and we completed, and we never got closed out to get our money. To give you an example, this week, those lights across the street have been installed. I personally called Jersey Central because the lights don't work. Mr. Dewey, we have no open repair order request to hook those lights up. There was no inspections done the whole time they were doing the wiring. So I heard today that the contractor that put the lights in is waiting for a part. It's totally mind-boggling. Blows my mind. Engineer got paid, the lights got paid for, the guy installed the lights, and guess what? We still have no lights. We gotta get to the bottom of this. We've gotta stop wasting money. You get a project, you knock it out, you get paid. Everybody else gets paid but us. And I have no idea how many more open rates we have out there, but from what I understand,
And what I'll do is, I'll send a request for you, Chad, for the list of all those open grants.
Yeah, I don't know them all myself. And this broken part or missing part, this is the first time I've heard of that. The last time I heard, there was a problem with the engineer and the electric company, where the electric company wasn't scheduled. I'm sorry?
Guess who the
But-
engineer was?
But the electric company wouldn't schedule a cutover without certain things, and then they were butting heads, basically. So, well, that's why it hung out there so long. I thought we have a date now towards 2 weeks from now, I think. I don't know the exact date.
I don't know what this part is,
That's the first time.
but they've been in the ground for a year.
First time I'm hearing of a countdown.
And
Last word I got is, we did get a firm date that they're gonna cut it over, and it's before the end of the month.
that's if there's no problem with the inspection, because when they buried all the cable, there was, ARH never called for any inspections. So there's a possibility you'll be redigging the trenches up so they can see what's in the ground. It's a big problem, and we gotta get a handle on it. And I think if we were on the verge of losing this resolution 267/2025 because of the age of the grants. So, we gotta get a handle on it, because it's gonna cost taxpayers a lot of money, because people didn't do their job that worked for us. So, we're gonna go on, right? Okay, thanks, Joe. Thank you.
I'd like to put in my 2 cents there a minute. I hate to be the devil's advocate, but, we are closing out 2. And I think we're getting better at it because we're communicating better with the public works. There's 2 more from what I was told, going to be finalized shortly. And yes, we do need a list of all the outstanding ones so we can see what's going on and continue getting better at it.
But Harry, if I would have made the phone call to Jersey Central to find out, Mr. Dewey, there is no open repair order on file here to protect those lights.
Don't disagree with you.
You know what I mean?
I know we gotta get better at it. You are 100% correct, but we're working at it, just to be devil's advocate.
Put it up through the cracks. That's all I have on that. I don't know if anybody else has anything.
Good day.
I'm good.
Make a motion to approve 267/2025.
I'll second.
Mr. Harper?
Yes.
Mr. Dewey?
Yes.
Mr. Ward?
Yes.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Bianchi?
Yes. Resolution 274/2025 consents to the appointment of Warren R. Thomas IV as part-time first aide for the Township of Pemberton. Discussion.
Here I go again. I don't have one problem with this person. My feeling is it should be a full-time position. But we still haven't had a business administrator for over a year now. So if I push for a full-time, I could be voted off the council by the time you get one. I'll go with 274, only one stipulation. I would like him to come and meet the council members. And we have to set up some guidelines for purchasing. I sound like a broken record when I go through the bill list, and I get comments that I'm thick skinned. With age, I have more maturity. But we have to get a handle on this. And we have to get the right person. If it's gonna be part-time or we get a full-time person. It's insane what goes on. It's just like these railings. It was well over $3,000 to do these railings. It was never brought to our attention. It was just done. And it's not right. People are spending taxpayers' money without our authority or our consent. And it's gotta stop. You got 5 guys up here trying to do the right thing, but it doesn't seem like too many people the rest of the voting right. And it's, people gotta be accountable. So, I'll agree to this, but I want to make sure that we have a meeting with this person, and we come up with our guidelines and what we're looking for, so that you don't go nuts when you're looking at the bill list. The thing is paper, toner. Nobody buys the paper clips from the same place. And it's the little things that kill you. They would step over $1 to pick up a dime in this building. You know, you have to get control on spending. That's all I got to say.
Again, I don't disagree with Mr. Dewey about getting controls on the spending. We're making this approval, you know, I don't agree that we need a full-time guy, but we're making this approval so that we can function until the next budget year and possibly make some corrections. We have somebody in-house that's getting ready to take the test to be a qualified purchasing agent, and hopefully that'll solve it, but this will get us through to the new budget year. And I'm sure, Mr. Dewey, that you have no problem setting up a time for that guy to meet with any of us and address our concerns. No less, you know, am I correct, Mayor? That should be not a problem.
As long as we don't have a quorum.
Right, oh,
And
exactly.
his availability, I
Right.
don't know what his availability would be.
Yeah, most definitely, yeah, I mean, whenever he has time, we set up a schedule and we can address each council person's concerns. Or everybody give the council president the concerns and he can meet with them, something like that. Thank you.
Make a motion to approve 274-2025.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mr. Harper?
Oh, yes.